The Bitcoin and really the entire cryptocurrency markets are facing incredible manipulation from some of the most experienced manipulators in the history of investing. In this video, I'll break down the way in which the battle for your mind, your money, and your Bitcoin is being waged by the biggest and most nefarious financial players in the world. My name's Lark. Every day I talk about cryptocurrency investing, so if that's a topic that you would like to learn some more about, then make sure that you subscribe to the channel, gently tap on the thumbs up button, just for the YouTube algorithm, and of course, click on the notification bell to know I put out a new video. So let's just go ahead and get straight into it. And let's start off by talking about BlackRock. Now, BlackRock, in case you don't know, world's largest asset manager, BlackRock is an absolute behemoth in the investing world. And here they are saying that they see very little demand for Bitcoin, that long-term investors simply aren't interested in crypto. You know, it's a really interesting claim from BlackRock. BlackRock has not been super big into crypto previously in previous years. Recently, they did start getting a little more interested in crypto, and they put this out. They said Bitcoin is going to replace gold. That's what BlackRock said. That was back in late 2020 before the big run-up, right? Getting everyone excited. Now that Bitcoin's down, let's kick it. Let's kick it while it's down, right? But here they are. They say, well, Bitcoin is better than gold. I agree. I agree with that. I made videos on the topic, and I'm a gold investor too. I've got a bit of the shiny yellow stuff sitting around the house, but realistically, Bitcoin is better than gold. I think that Bitcoin will go on to rival the market cap of gold. Not that Bitcoin needs to replace gold. Gold has its own unique value propositions, but it's just an interesting thing to point out. 6 months ago, these guys were mega bullish. They're saying basically that Bitcoin is going to go to a $10 trillion market cap. Now, all of a sudden, nobody wants to buy Bitcoin. Come on, man. And you know what makes their no one really wants Bitcoin claims? Now the bottom's here, right? Now that we're at in this very bearish time in the market, nobody wants to buy Bitcoin. Guess what they did just a couple of days ago? This just happened. They bought 12% of all MicroStrategy's shares. That's an incredible investment. They bought a 12% stake in MicroStrategy. Come on. Come on. You don't just go out and buy 12% of MicroStrategy unless you want exposure to Bitcoin, obviously. MicroStrategy now has 100,000 Bitcoin, so a 12% stake gives them essentially 12% of that. So it'd be, 12,000 Bitcoin approximately worth of the company's total Bitcoin allocation. Come on, man. Come on. Come on. They're just talking out of both sides of their mouth here. What are they actually doing? Where's their money actually going? They're actually investing in Bitcoin-related products, right? You don't buy MicroStrategy stocks unless you want exposure to Bitcoin. It has, at this point, almost become something of a Bitcoin ETF or a Bitcoin trust, however you want to look at it. You buy MicroStrategy stocks because you want access to Bitcoin. You don't buy it just because they do great software stuff. You want access to the Bitcoin. And yet, BlackRock, very little demand for Bitcoin. That's why we bought 12% of MicroStrategy. Come on, man. And Fidelity Digital Assets, they are increasing their staff by 70%. Why are they doing that? Why would Fidelity be hiring more people for their crypto division? Huh, BlackRock? Why would that be the case? Because they're getting so much demand that they need to hire more staff. And yet, there's very little demand according to BlackRock. Meh. Come on, BlackRock, that's ridiculous. The demand is incredible. The demand's there. We've covered in many, many ways how there is a lot of demand for cryptocurrencies. And here is Fidelity Digital Assets literally saying we have so much demand, we need to hire more people. So what is it, BlackRock? You're buying MicroStrategy. Fidelity's hiring more staff. You guys said it's going to a $10 trillion market cap, and then now all of a sudden this words coming out. But don't think about the words, look at the actions, because the actions tend to be quite different. By the way, if you want to trade yourself some cryptocurrencies, you got yourself an account over on Bybit. It is the best exchange for trading cryptocurrency futures. They've also introduced a spot trading feature. So if you're not into trading futures, you can also trade spot markets over here on Bybit. And if you use the link down below in the description to start your account, you can get up to a $600 Bitcoin trading bonus. So go ahead and check that out using the first link in the description. Now let's talk about our next favorite market manipulator, Guggenheim. Now Guggenheim, they are the guys who famously said Bitcoin is going to $600,000. That was back in February. Mega bulls, super bullish, so bullish it's crazy. $600,000 Bitcoin, basically agreeing with BlackRock that we're going to see Bitcoin reaching the market cap of gold. And yet, here they come out. Bitcoin's going to go to $15,000. That was on June 26th. Now, a couple days ago, they updated their target. Bitcoin's now going to go to $10,000. Guess down to 10 and back up to 600. Sounds about right. Here these guys are getting overly bearish near the lows. And hey, look, I'm not a wizard. I cannot predict the markets. Maybe these guys will end up being right, and we are going to go to $10,000. Oh, I would buy the heck out of $10,000 Bitcoin, but that's besides the point. It's pretty interesting to see this, again, this double speak going on, right? Overly bullish at the top, overly bearish at the bottom. Going to 600K when it's 60K. It's going to go down to 10K now that we're in the 30K range. Pretty interesting, isn't it? To see these guys. And yet these are the same people who believe that crypto is the paradigm future, as a paradigm is the future. They're super bullish on it. They think it's going to go to $600,000, and yet they want to scare you right now into selling your Bitcoin. We're talking about institutional players here who have trillions of dollars between them, who have the ability to manipulate markets, who have the ability to speak and then be distributed all throughout the media. And everyone talks about their opinions. So they get people very bullish at the top and very bearish near the bottoms. They want to push the markets down. They want to get cheaper Bitcoin so they can push the price back up and sell it to people at the top again. Here we go with Goldman Sachs. Yeah, Goldman. These guys. They say cryptocurrencies are not a viable investment. Yet, no Bitcoin. No, bad investment. Fascinating. They said the same thing last year in May. They said Bitcoin is not a viable investment. Of course, that was when Bitcoin was around $9,000 approximately. So we've gone up, 4x since then or whatever. So apparently worked out pretty good as an investment for a lot of people, exactly when Goldman Sachs was fudding it back then. But now, of course, they're out here to reiterate Bitcoin bad, crypto bad, bad investment, don't buy it. In fact, it's such a bad investment that they are unveiling a new cryptocurrency trading team. That's how bad of an investment they think that it is. They're now offering it to their wealthy clients. They've instituted a cryptocurrency trading desk. Come on, Goldman Sachs. Come on. Again. Don't listen to what they say. Watch what they actually do. Where does the money actually go? What are the actions that happen? Right? If somebody says, I love you, I love you, I love you all the time, and then beats you, well, you're in a toxic relationship, you need to call somebody. But if somebody says, I love you, I love you, I love you all the time, and then they actually show in actions that they really mean those things, they bring you flowers, they cook you dinner, whatever it might be. Well, then, you probably got to keep her. So, put a ring on it, lock that deal up. But anyway, besides the point, actions speak louder than words. And here are some other actions from Goldman Sachs. Goldman Sachs ramps up Bitcoin trading in new partnership with Mike Novogratz's Galaxy Digital. Again, more evidence that what they say and what they're doing, not the same thing. And of course, JP Morgan. These guys. JP Morgan. I wonder what ever happened to that boat full of cocaine. The JP Morgan owned boat that had like $1 billion of cocaine in it they found last year, and then it just stopped talking about that. Oh, these guys. Anyway, JP Morgan. Bitcoin's going to go down to $25,000 due to the grayscale Bitcoin unlocks. This, of all the predictions, is probably the one closest to reality. Bitcoin down to $25,000 wouldn't be that absurd to think, not like the $10,000 prediction from Guggenheim, for example. But still, JP Morgan, very bearish on Bitcoin right now, saying it's going to go down, 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 down. Therefore, the implication is, since Bitcoin's going to go down, obviously, you should sell your Bitcoin now to JP Morgan and their super wealthy clients, obviously. And then, it didn't go down to $25,000. Oops, we'll sell it back to you for $100,000. Don't worry, we got you back. Because, of course, JP Morgan, they said, Bitcoin going to $146,000. Of course, that was in early January. Everybody's very bullish back then, right? Just around the same time that Guggenheim said Bitcoin's going to 600K. It's around the same time that BlackRock said Bitcoin's going to go 550K. JP Morgan was much more conservative. They're only going to go to $146,000. And now it's $25,000, apparently. JP Morgan also, by the way, saying, and a note to clients, you should have a 1% allocation of Bitcoin. So JP Morgan literally tells their wealthy clients, their rich clients, you guys should get yourselves some Bitcoin, even 1% allocation, you're going to do okay. And of course, we've talked about those numbers here a lot on the channel before. If you backdate it, even just a 1% allocation of Bitcoin into your portfolio, a portfolio with 1% Bitcoin massively outperformed any combination of portfolios without 1% Bitcoin. If you bump that number up to 3% or 5% or 10%, we're talking dramatically outperforming portfolios that are, largely in bonds or just the S&P 500 or whatever it might be. They know. JP Morgan knows. That's why they're telling their clients to buy Bitcoin. It's just also transparent when you load it all up and, these guys, it's all the same money interests working together, getting overly bullish at the top, getting overly bearish at the bottom. We have these guys out here saying, basically trash talking Bitcoin, saying it's going to go down, 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 down. Don't invest in it. It's a bad investment. Nobody wants to buy this. Why would you buy this? You're an idiot if you buy Bitcoin, because no one else is buying this except us. But, nobody else, right? That's why we bought MicroStrategy, because nobody wants to get Bitcoin exposure. These guys are the biggest financial criminals in the world. And look, we could go on and on and on about different institutions and different banks and all this stuff. But the reality is, these are all prolific manipulators of one variety or another. The story came out recently that BlackRock is buying up property like crazy in the U.S., outbidding regular people, and then turning those into rental properties. What's the saying from the Great Reset? You will own nothing and you will be happy. BlackRock seems to want to fulfill that vision. Goldman Sachs, of course, famous market manipulators, caught many, many times, fined many times. JP Morgan's probably the worst of them all in terms of its criminality. There's literally been dozens of times that they've been caught manipulating currency markets, metals markets, you name it, they've manipulated it. And if they haven't been caught manipulating it, it's only because they didn't get caught. You can almost be for sure certain that JP Morgan was out there manipulating those markets. So all of these guys are bearish on Bitcoin. which makes me more bullish. Personally, if these guys don't like it, I like it. And here's the deal. These guys have access to near infinite money. They are working on cornering supply, and that's what they'll be doing over time. They'll be working on cornering supply, getting 30% or 10% or whatever it might be if you let them play this game. And of course, we as individual people, we can't really stop this from happening. These guys are playing the big game with more money than we can possibly imagine. So with this in mind, what can you do as just a regular dude trying to stack some sats, get a little bit of Bitcoin? Try not to worry too much about all this stuff. It's good to be aware of it, which is why I'm making this video, because I want you to be aware of these people, these organizations. They're saying one thing, they're doing another thing. It's very important to realize that. And as a regular investor, you have to understand that now that we have big money here, now that we have Wall Street here, they're going to be playing big money Wall Street games. Is what I've always said about these big money guys getting involved in crypto, is that they're going to bring their Wall Street antics with them, which is exactly what they've done. And as a regular investor, how do you approach that situation? Well, you just keep dollar cost averaging in, you buy on the dips, you understand that we are in a market, much like all markets, that is susceptible to manipulation. These guys have manipulated every market in the world. Why would we think they're not doing the same to crypto? And they manipulate it up by getting people overly bullish. They manipulate it down by getting people overly bearish. You as an investor, understand that this is out there, understand that this is happening, and then proceed with your investment plan. Because if you let this stuff shake you, then you don't win long term. Dollar cost average in, keep it simple, and you will do just fine investing in these markets. Anyway, with all of these guys, BlackRock and Goldman and JP Morgan, saying that Bitcoin's going to go down, the biggest manipulators in the world, what are you going to do? Does this make you more bullish on Bitcoin? Or do you think, hey, actually, come on, Lark, you're being a little bit harsh on all these guys here. I mean, there's some good people that work at those companies. You know, maybe we should listen to what they say. They're obviously more experienced than, you know, some dude on YouTube talking about cryptocurrencies, more experienced than, you know, you listening. So we should really pay attention to what these guys have to say and, you know, sell all of our Bitcoin right now and, you know, maybe buy it back later when it goes lower. Maybe. It's a possibility, but I'm curious to hear your opinion down below in the comment section. Thanks so much for watching today's video, and peace out till next time.